Well, hello. This is my first ever late night show. And it's the first time I've ever been alone. I don't have anybody supervising me tonight, meaning I don't have anybody to run any of the equipment. So, YouTube. It's just me and you. Whatever you guys want to talk about tonight, if you're up, if you're around, if you're in Florida and you're sick and tired of the cleanup from the latest storm, if you want to chat, it's very late night there, I understand, but we can talk about anything you want tonight. We'll get right to the calls just so I can basically make sure that everything is actually working, because it would be nice to know that I'm here by myself and I was able to pull it off and get everything working myself. First caller of the evening, you're on the air.
What's up?
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
I love your videos and all of your unboxings are fun.
The unboxing videos are fun.
Keep up the good work.
Are you supposed to be in bed right now and you're staying really quiet because of that?
No, my headphones are broken.
Oh, that kind of stinks.
Yeah.
But you were able to, you're my first caller of the evening and I'm all alone tonight. I wanted to make sure you could actually, I'm on air, I'm live, you could see it?
Yeah, I know. I got the message, so I called you right away.
All right. Well, you're the first caller of the evening. Do you have any fun facts or anything you want to share, or are you just calling to say hey?
Yeah, basically just calling to say hey.
All right. Well, thanks for wishing me a happy Friday evening. Same back to you. Very excited to be here on my very first live call-in show that I'm doing all by myself. I'm actually kind of nervous. Usually I have Banana over there and I've got Brooks over there and I've got other people controlling stuff, but it's just me and Steve is over here. I don't know if he's in the frame. I have no idea if anything is in frame. So I'll just talk to the callers and maybe you guys will tell me, hey, am I in frame?
Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like you are.
All right, that's good. It's kind of tricky setting up a video stream by yourself when you can't see yourself. But I just stuck the camera in front of me and has some software that's supposed to find my face. So I was hoping I was there. Who's this, by the way?
My name's Garrett.
Garrett,
you're doing a great job. You're in frame and everything.
Thank you. I got Steve over here. I'm wondering if it's going to. It has facial recognition. I wonder if it recognizes dogs' faces and if it'll start zooming in on him too.
I love German short-haired pointers. My parents actually have one. They are great dogs.
That is cool. You know what a lot of people think he's a Weimaraner. I don't know what a Weimaraner looks like, but I've heard they got kind of crazy eyes.
They have one of those too.
Oh, really?
They have a Weimaraner and a German short-haired pointer.
Oh, that's cool. He has a ridiculous amount of energy. He's panting all heavy. I don't know if you can hear it or see it, but I decided to take them out for a walk because I wanted to have him and his sister be nice and pooped so they didn't bother me and jump all over the equipment, because it's hard enough making it work without puppies jumping on top of it. But enough about me and my dogs. What's going on, Garrett?
Not too much. No, I do the same thing. I took my dog to the dog park tonight to tire her out. It's actually cool that you have this thing where we can call in and stuff, because I was actually had something where I wanted to speak to you about it, and I was just last night, I was like, man, I wonder how I could talk to Pete.
Well, you got it.
So I had sent you some stuff for the unboxing, and I had actually left a comment about something that I was going to send you instructions for, and I figured out that ends up what it is. It's a little device, and I was just wondering what your thoughts were on this. They're like little NFC tags. Oh, sorry.
It's I haven't gotten the box yet. Have I, or have I?
No, I think one of them was delivered yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one isn't here yet.
I think I did get the notification that is at the UPS store, and we're going to go down there and grab that tomorrow. I'm going to start working on a new. Someone asked a question. I don't think, people just watch the videos and they don't know what goes into them, and they're not expected to. But someone made a comment that how do you always get the package upside right when you show it to the camera? And I gave them a little behind the scenes information. These things take forever to film, because if something has a front and a back, I do it 4 ways. I do the front, the back, then I flip it over and I do the front and the back. And that's how I show it to the camera. So when they go into editing, they have to pick the one that's upside right, if it's important for the person to see what it is. But that's why these things have such a lag time in between, because they do take a long time to film. But as for how you could get the instructions to me, actually.
No,
No, go ahead.
That was the thing, and I was gonna talk to you about it because I found out that it wasn't exactly what I thought it was.
Oh, okay.
So what this is, or what it was going to be, and I'm actually thinking, and this is why I wanted to talk to you about it, is there's this company, they made this thing, it's like called, I forget what it's called. It's basically like a little pin, and they have little NFC tags.
Okay.
And you know what NFC tags are, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't know if you use these in any way, but you can stick them on items, and they have this pin that you could tap them to, and then it would tell you what the item was. But ends up they are, like, the pin is expensive. The little tags are proprietary, even though, you know, you can get, like, NFC tags for, like, 10 cents on Amazon.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be that hard. Like, I was wondering if that would be something that you would use, or that other people that, you know, would use. It wouldn't be that hard to actually create like an open source app where anybody could just go buy a bunch of tags on Amazon, tap their phone to it, and it tells them what it's connected to.
That could actually be pretty handy. I'm thinking in the pantry, trying to find the appropriate treats. I could label the jars instead of having to open them up and figure out what's in there. I also, depending on do you know how small they are?
They're very, very thin. They have all kinds of different form factors, but like, I mean, they can be like just a sticker.
I feel like I could use, because it is hard for me to know. I mean, you either have to be really, really, really organized when you can't see, or just have like an amazing memory of where you put everything all the time. And I'm kind of halfway between both of those. Like, I'm not great at either. I'd have to think about it a little bit. But I think there could be some use to that. Can you hit me up over email and we'll stay connected? I'll do a little thinking on that. I like where your brain is at. And if you have another thought, maybe we can bounce it off each other, on email.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I just thought that might be useful, and they're charging so much for it. It's like, you know, why not make it something where everybody could use it very cheaply?
Yeah, that's really cool. And I appreciate you and anybody that has been sending stuff for unboxings. I always feel weird asking people to like send me stuff. Like, I don't necessarily need stuff, and I almost feel like I should be reimbursing people, but I guess if people get enjoyment out of it and they have fun, then that's cool. Is that more how you feel about it?
No, I mean, you left that comment, and you're like, you know, you're like, we don't have stuff coming in the box, and it's like, I had no idea. I figured, you know, everybody watches these videos. I figured your box would be just overflowing where you had to pick it up every day, but
no, I think it's tough to ask people to ask people to part with money to send things to a guy that doesn't really need them. I understand that. I mean, some of those videos, yeah, we've had 10, 11 million views on a few of the videos, but the stuff coming in, just because it's expensive, and I understand. So I'm really, really appreciative, and I always try and make sure that everything that gets sent does get used in a video, but sometimes the editor makes an executive decision. Either I screwed it up too bad, or I couldn't make it entertaining, and then I feel really bad. I'm like, oh God, I didn't get to use that person's thing. So, but I do appreciate everybody that sends stuff.
Yep. Yeah, no problem. I enjoy your videos and everything, and no, I mean, you're an inspiration, and it's cool that, like, I had no idea. I mean, for like the longest time, I've heard your voice like my entire life, and had no idea it was you.
Yep, it's fun to come out from behind the microphone and go, "Hey, it's me. This is my face."
Yep.
Well, yeah, shoot me an email. You can find my contact information on my Linktree, linktree.com/PeteGustin. We will connect, or you can just hit me up in the latest video. I usually try and check those in the comments, and we'll try and figure out a use for those things. But I appreciate your thinking on that.
Yep, perfect. I'll send you an email.
Sounds good. Have a good night.
Yep, you too. Thank you. Bye.
This is the Late Night Show with me, Pete. I think it says it in lights behind me. I'm pretty sure I put all the lights on. And Steve. Steve's here too. Skylar is somewhere else. Banana is not here. Brooks is not here. It is just me talking to anybody and everybody that wants to call up tonight and talk about anything at all. We can do life advice. We can do funny stories. It's late night. We can do whatever we want. Who is this? Hello, hello. I hear you. I hear me. So there's a little delay there. All right, I'm going to give this person to the count of three. Ready? 3, 2. Oh my God, so sorry. We'll see if we can get someone else in the next call. Ooh, another call coming up right now. We will go to that one in just a second. 760-517-6844. It should say it up on your screen. That is the phone number to talk to me on this first ever solo late night show. Who is this?
Oh, hey, Pete. This is David Saunders.
Hey, David, what's going on?
Hey, man, it's good talking to you, man. I've seen your show for a couple of years now, and it's just been awesome to see you live finally.
I love talking to people. I mentioned it in the last live that I did with Brooks. The comments are fun for the most part, but every once in a while I wake up first thing in the morning and I see like a snippy comment, and then I write something snippy back, and then I'm in this like snipping contest with people over the comments. And I kind of decided a while ago a better way to have a relationship with people who watch me all the time is actually to open up the phone lines to engage. And it really wasn't easy to set up, and it's not easy to run alone, but I think it's working. You called, so I think it's working.
Yeah, it's working great, man, and you look good on camera, so everything looks cool.
Thank you.
But I'm curious, man. Those bumps for blind people to cross the street. Have you ever tried to skateboard over those?
Yes, I have, and depending on what wheels I've got, it can be a bit of a train wreck. I used to skate all the time in college. I went to Boston University. My main source of transportation was my skateboard, and I just had to start memorizing which sidewalks had the bumpy yellow entries and which ones didn't. Because if you hit that and you're not ready for it, it is quite the surprise. It'll take you from 10 to 2 miles an hour pretty fast.
Right. Yeah, I've been skateboarding since I was 16. I'm 40 now, and man, those bumps, I have a love-hate relationship with them, but I'm glad they're there for you guys, you know.
Yeah, I really didn't understand until I started proper training. They call it O&M. It's orientation and mobility, and that's teaching blind people and low vision people how to use their canes. And I didn't really realize what a big help those would be. As your cane hits it, a good 3 feet before you get there, you have a warning that you're at the edge of the curb. And more importantly, those yellow bumps, you would hopefully not be skateboarding at the edge of a subway track, but it's really nice to know that you're at the edge of the track when you start stepping on or feeling those things with your cane.
Oh, right. But yeah, man, I'm from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, man. I thought I'd hit you up tonight, but you have a good day, man. It's good talking to you.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate the phone call.
All right. Good deal. Take care, man.
You too. See, we can talk about anything tonight. We can talk about the yellow bumps on sidewalks. We can talk about unboxing videos. And Steve is being mildly annoying. I think he's got a toy in his mouth. Hopefully he'll pass out and be quiet. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. I can hear him going crunch, crunch, crumble, crumble. Yeah, that noise. He's got. You know what? Someone's got to tell me what shirt I'm wearing, because usually I pay a lot of attention to what I'm putting on. But I just threw something on and then ran outside, and I don't know what shirt. I can't feel it. What shirt am I wearing? Who's this?
Oh, hello, this is Dominic.
Dominic, what's going on? Can you see on the stream, what am I wearing for a shirt tonight?
Hold on, I just closed you live.
Oh, that's probably a good idea. I can ask, if you pop it back up, you'll start hearing me again. I'll figure out what clothes I'm wearing a little later. Well, what do you got going on tonight, Dominic?
You're wearing a gray shirt. Oh, nothing. I just wanted to. Oh, you're wearing a Batman shirt.
Oh, is that what it is? It's the Batman one? Oh, I can feel it. I think this shirt, it's probably too old now. It used to be glow in the dark. I can feel the little lines across it. You used to put it in front of a light, and then you could turn it off, and it would glow. It would like do the bat symbol. This is a cool shirt. I remember this one.
That's a pretty cool shirt. I like it.
Thank you. So anyway, sorry to talk about my clothing. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I just wanted to say hi. I like your videos a lot. They're pretty cool.
I appreciate you watching them.
It's pretty impressive how you can surf blind, honestly. That impresses me a lot.
I'm going to be going tomorrow morning bright and early. Nisha and I are going to be going out. I had a bit of an injury last Saturday that kept me out of the week, or kept me out of the water from then until tomorrow. The top of my foot got sliced by a fin, and it bled for a long time. Injuries are bound to happen when you can't see what you're doing and you're out there in the ocean, but I think they're worth it. I think the whole learning curve of going out there and trying to figure out how to surf was definitely worth it. I enjoy it quite a bit. Have you ever gotten on a surfboard?
No, I live in Arizona, so we don't really have ocean too.
In the summer, we get a lot of visitors in Southern California from Arizona, and they actually call them zonies. And for some reason, visually, the Southern Californians can pick out the zonies, and they go, there's a bunch of zonies on the beach over there. I don't know how they know. I don't know if you guys dress different or have different accents or wear hats that say I'm from Arizona, but we do get a lot of Arizona visitors out here. So I don't know, maybe next summer you can convince someone to take you out here. You can come out yourself and hop on a surfboard for the first time. I recommend the sport to anyone. It is hard, but it is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I have bowling tomorrow morning, so.
Bowling? Are you on a team?
Yeah, I'm on a bowling league with my friends.
That's kind of awesome. What's your best score? What's the best frame or best set you've ever had?
180.
And that's out of 300 is tops, right?
Yeah, 300 is tops. My best score is a 180.
That's pretty impressive. How long you been bowling for?
Like a year. My best friend got me into bowling, but he moved to South Carolina like a month ago. I've known him since kindergarten, so that's been pretty sick.
Yeah, it kind of stinks to lose your best friend. Have him move away, but 180 after just a year sounds pretty impressive. Is it something you want? Are you just having fun at it, or you want to keep improving and getting better?
Keep improving and getting better. I actually think it's 2 years now, but yeah, 2 years now.
All right. Well, that sounds pretty fun. I hope you have a good time with that. And if you ever do make it out here and you see me on a beach, yell real loud. Tell me it's you.
Okay, Pete.
Thanks a lot.
Have a good night.
Appreciate the phone call. This is kind of cool. It's just me and you guys just kind of chatting away about anything and everything you want to talk about. We've done bowling. We've done bumps on sidewalks. I found out what shirt I was wearing. Steve is still being mildly annoying and playing with a toy next to me. I'm afraid if I take it away, though, he'll just like jump all over me. And there are so many wires between me and the camera right now that I think if he catches one paw on them, everything's going to go down. So I'll just leave Will enough alone. Hey, who's this? You're on with Pete. Hello.
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
This is Noah.
Noah, what is going on tonight?
What's he doing from laundry?
You are a little difficult to hear. Sorry about that, Noah. The phone was not a fantastic connection. We're going to move on to the next call, see what is going on. What time is it? Let me click the 9:48 p.m. Can you hear that? That's how people ask me all the time. They're like, why do you have an Apple Watch? 9:48 p.m. Because it talks out loud when I touch it. So it's 9:48 p.m. here in California. That means we're coming up on 1 o'clock in the East Coast. So who is this and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ann Arbor, Michigan. My name's Regina.
Regina, I'm on a radio station in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I believe 106.3 The Core is around you, or are you closer to Detroit? I don't know my geography that well.
No, I am sitting in downtown Ann Arbor.
Okay.
Live in one of the tall buildings.
All right,
downtown.
And that's so it's what 12:49 in Michigan right now.
Exactly.
All right. Well, happy late night. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I called for a couple things. Let me start off with those little dots. I am disabled and in a wheelchair. Personally, I find those little dots at the end of the sidewalk to be a pain in the ass. Oh, sorry. Should I not swear?
No, that's fine. It expresses your sentiment perfectly.
I'm like, when especially if you got up a little bit of speed to get over, the roads are humped for water drainage. So if you're get a little bit of steam going down towards the sidewalk, you have to slow down before you hit them, or it's a messy ride.
Yeah, I bet.
Messy ride. The other, so that's my opinion on the dots. The reason why I called is I became physically disabled in the last decade. I found out I had bad spinal stenosis, bad genes. And I have to say that I have found you to be inspiring to watch, to go out surfing, because I'm still working out to going out on my own and having enough confidence in my ability in my wheelchair. Mind you, I'm pretty good in it, but I'm terrified when I'm out alone that I'm going to hit a bump or fall off the sidewalk doing something stupid, or, just get stuck.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I mean, everything's going to take. Can you guys hear? It's driving me nuts because I'm so sensitive to sound. Steve is just going to town on this toy of his, trying to pay attention. Steve, just go to bed. We got important things to talk about here tonight. Now he knows that
Really,
Where do I put this thing that he can't get it? What if I just sit
Your
on
butt.
it? Yeah, there we go. I've sat
Sit
on
on
it.
it?
Look, it's gone. It's gone, Steve.
Sit on
Sorry.
it.
No toy anymore. This is every other time we've done this show.
Now a pain in my.
We've
now
locked
a
him.
pain in my ass.
Yeah. We've locked him away every other time because I knew he'd be a pain in the butt in one way or another. So, well, I've been proven right on that count. Just go to bed. This is why I took you out before we started the show. Go to bed. Lay down. He's like, I'm 2 and I have all the energy in the world. And I'm not going to bed. Steve, you drive me nuts. Trying to talk here. So you've been in the wheelchair. Back to the topic at hand. You've been in the wheelchair for what? 2 years? 2 years now, you said?
No, I've been I've been in a wheelchair, and now I'm in like the custom wheelchair that I've been in maybe 3 years, and I can go out with people, and they can, I wheel on my own. I prefer to not have people push me, but they get uncomfortable being seen with somebody in a wheelchair that they're not pushing.
Yeah.
But I can get around, but it's a matter of I live downtown and I've yet to venture out on my own because I'm terrified I'm going to get stuck somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even I feel you 100%. It's amazing to me how, I started this channel, Blind Surfer, which are two kind of specific things. There's not a lot of blind surfers out there in the world, but it's amazing to me how I'm able to relate, and I think a lot of other people are able to relate to me with what I've got going on. And you say that you're nervous to go out on your own. Like, I am too, honestly. Like, it's really kind of scary. I've just got this stick and my ability to hear. God, he's gonna just drive me nuts tonight. And I'm always afraid to go out by myself. I like having Banana with me. I can, we can hold hands, or I'll go out with Nisha and I'll just stay really close and listen to her footsteps. And but the thing is, and I learned this from a blind skater by the name of Anthony Ferraro, I'm not going to get better with the cane until I practice more, until I start doing it more. And, you have to start with little baby steps, like maybe just go around your block a couple times, or maybe start venturing a little further away. But the fear of anything isn't going to go away until you expose yourself to it more. And I think if it's something you want to do, if you want to start being more independent, just start with little baby steps and build up your confidence, and eventually you'll be able to go out there on your own.
Now, I'm asking this, and we're two, you being a man, me being a woman. There's a part of me that also, besides getting physically stuck somewhere, there's a part of me that's had to adjust to, the declining physical stuff. Like when I had a walker, it was a pain in the ass, and I just felt old and decrepit. Now in the wheelchair, I feel like I'm marked. I feel like there's a big bagel sign above me that says, "Please rob me."
Oh, God.
And mind you, I live in downtown Ann Arbor. It's not a high crime city.
Well, I learned this. This is a funny lesson that I learned when I was 19 years old. I was living in the city of Boston, and I was coming from Kung Fu practice. I'd been studying martial arts for a long time, and I'm a guy, and I was in shape, and I knew how to fight and take care of myself. And this was all the stuff that was running through my head as I decided to cut through an alley that took me from my karate studio to my work. I was working overnights at a radio station, and I forget the name of the short. It's a story I told in the short. I think it was like, "Was I robbed?" or something like that. Long story short is I did get held up by first one guy, and then his two friends came out, and they took everything that I had, which fortunately was just $5. It's all I had in my wallet. They didn't want to beat me up or anything. They just wanted to take what I had, and they did. And I learned right then and there, and it was a good lesson for me to learn, because later on I was living in New York City. I learned that anyone can be robbed at any time. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, there has to be an easier mark out there than a guy who just came from Kung Fu practice, but it doesn't really matter if they have knives,
a woman
or if there's
in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I mean, that does seem like an easier mark, but you'd also have to realize that the person would hopefully feel like a gigantic scumbag. And I think even scumbags have a level of scumbaggery. To rob a woman in a wheelchair would just be really, really low. Like, really low.
Okay, I needed to hear that. So, my friends will tell me that. They're just like, "Oh, you're in Ann Arbor, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, Yeah, you don't know what it's like to be in this wheelchair and be alone and feel like you're painted Baglow or it doesn't have a sign that says "Please rob me."
Yeah, no. I mean, it can. So, I mean, the point of my rambling story is it can happen to anyone, and I almost think just in the level of some decency out there, some guy who really needs to rob someone because he needs to get his crack or whatever. Like, I hope even he'd be like, I'm not going to rob the woman in the wheelchair. I haven't fallen that low. I'd like to think.
To hear that.
All right, but I would strongly suggest going out there. I mean, you see me do, and everybody has come to my YouTube channel later in my life. I've had decades of practice at skateboarding and riding bikes, and then I'd been surfing for 3 years before I started. Like, I start this channel, everybody's like, oh, it's amazing, you can do so many things. I'm like, yeah, like hours and hours and hours, 10,000 hours of practice on everything that you've seen me do, from voice acting to skateboarding to just navigating the world. It all came with a ton of practice. So while people watch the videos and they see this high level of functionality, they didn't see the 3 decades of practice it took. So if there's something you want to do, if it's simple as just going out and being a little more independent, you're just going to have to start practicing and doing it a little bit at a time, a little bit every day.
Well, the stuff I used to do, I can't do without assistance now. So ironically, I took up, well, not ironically, but I took up the big Lego builds.
Oh, really?
Yes, because it was the first thing I've encountered and since everything started, because I have like a 1 pound weight limit. And I live with chronic pain. So if I lift anything even a little bit over, or depending upon how it's distributed,
yep,
it will pull my back and give me like a lot of, more pain than I'm experiencing. So these Lego builds are like these little bags numbered from 1 to whatever. And they usually have, 2-3 bags to them. And I could pull something out and I could all by myself do this. And each time I built, a numbered batch, I accomplished something all by myself, kind of like a toddler.
I did it all not like a toddler. Those things are great. Now you're making me feel bad because I tried to do a Lego by myself.
No, I'm sorry.
And then I had to call Brooks and have him come over, and I've got a Lego beach house. I would get up and show it to you, but Steve finally fell asleep behind me. So it's the Lego beach house. And I pulled it. People they kept commenting like, do you think you could do Legos? Do you think you could do Legos? I'm like, sure, I can do pretty much anything I wanted. And then I got the box and I opened it up and I was like, uh-oh. I was like, this is hard.
I've done several, so I know that they don't make it easy for someone visually impaired.
Well, I love that you found that. I feel like there's so many people like you and like me. We used to be able to do things that we can't do anymore. And I used to go mountain biking. There was a lot of. I used to play ultimate frisbee with my friends. I used to throw the football around on the beach. And these are all things I can't do anymore. So I just started filling my life with things that I could do, as opposed to lamenting the loss of everything that I couldn't do anymore. And it sounds like you've found a way to do that yourself.
Yeah, I did. And I built the Titanic.
Nice.
It is 4.5 feet long.
Whoa.
It took me a month.
I was going to say, I bet you that took a while.
It did. I don't know how long the normal build time is, but it took me a month because I have to do things in small batches.
Well, that's pretty impressive. I appreciate your sharing the story. Going to move on and see if we can get some other calls in tonight, but it's really cool that you do that. And I'm proud of you I'm proud of you for finding something else that you enjoy. And I hope you keep finding new and cool ways to keep living your life.
Maybe I'll take up surfing.
Go for it. I'll tell you before I let you go, there is a category of surfing that is for amputees or people that don't have the use of their legs. There are 2 guys here in Southern California that are constantly going back and forth in the competitions, and one of them gets fully strapped to a surfboard. He is nothing. What's it called? I mean, he's quadriplegic, but he can basically just move his neck and his head, and he gets strapped to a surfboard and gets into a wave and kind of like wiggles his head to move the direction of the thing. It's crazy. Like every time I think about surfing blind, how hard it is, I think about this guy. I'm like, no, that's crazy. But he does it. He does it.
all I can think about is like, what the hell happens if it flips over?
Brooks, my coach who's usually doing these things with me, he went and watched one of the competitions that the guy was in, and he flipped over, but they have a lot of people in the water to go out and rescue him and get him over. But they have to get there. They have to see him flip. It's not instantaneous. He doesn't have anybody like right next to him. So he has to just stay super cool and go, okay, I'm face down, but someone is coming. And that is some impressive mental gymnastics that he can keep himself that cool.
Okay. If you recall his name, could you post it and post it on something?
Yeah, I'll try. Maybe I can do I can either do a short story or a community post or something like that, or maybe we'll come across him someday because it's pretty impressive what he does. So yeah, you joke you're going to come out surfing, but you know what? I'm going to strap you down to a surfboard and make you do it. We're going to get you out there.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
All right, it's late. Go to bed.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks for calling. It is the late night show. We're talking about, well, like anything apparently tonight. And I finally got Steve to go to bed. He's behind me now. I don't know if you guys can see him. I don't know what the camera's getting and what it's not getting. But Steve is asleep. Hopefully you guys are awake. Having a lot of fun talking to you. Who is this?
Hello. This is Izzy.
Vivi?
Izzy.
Izzy.
That's why.
Oh, okay, cool. Where are you calling from, Izzy?
Florida.
Florida. How good is your part of Florida doing tonight? Did you get hit or did you miss it?
It was supposed to originally go over us, but it missed us a bit.
There was a lot of misforecasting on that storm. Apparently, didn't go where all the meteorologists thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Actually, I was going to ask you about something. So I'm in high school and I'm thinking about getting into voice acting.
Okay.
How would you suggest I do that?
I don't want to. I'm going to give you a real answer, but and I don't want to sell you on something. But I do have an entire class. If you go to voiceuniversity.com, it is literally everything I know about how to get into the business. There's a lot of people out there that try and teach you how to voice act with an online class, and I find that impossible. I can't teach you how to voice act by having you watch me do it on a class. But voiceuniversity.com does show you from the very beginning steps all the way to the end. But it's like a 4-hour course, so I can't cover all of it tonight. But if it's something that you're interested in, it's really just something that you kind of have to start doing on your own. When I was interning at a radio station, and I used to just get a hold of copy, and I'd go into the studios overnight and start reading and listening back and talking to some of the people at the radio station, having them listen to the stuff, having them get feedback. That's step one, is just start getting some stuff down and trying to get better, trying to improve your skills. If you feel like you're already there, you feel like you're already competing, there are online websites that you can submit to try and get work. There's voices.com, voice123.com. A lot of established voice actors kind of hate those websites because they pay very little for what should be a higher paying job. But I think it's great just to get experience. Getting experience somewhere. If you're competing for jobs and you understand what a buyer or a client is looking for, and you can learn how to deliver that, it's really, I think practice is good. And then the other thing you can do if you feel like you're ready for it is start looking for an established, good voice coach. It might be a little expensive at your level. You can usually get them on the lower end for maybe $100 and $125 an hour. But not only is a good voice coach going to give you some tips and help with your skills, but they can also start pointing you in the right direction of where some jobs are, where some opportunities are, and where some agents who might be interested in new talent might be.
Yeah. You're really an inspiration to me because, you're amazing at voice acting.
I've had a lot of practice. I've been sitting in a booth for 25 years just talking, so I hope I got halfway decent by this point.
Yeah. I kind of tried voice acting a little bit, but not really anything big. I mean, my friend did some stuff, and I helped him with that. He said I did good, but, you know, I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it really is just, I mean, I could go on for 4 hours telling you more and more, but it's really, it's one of those things about, you know, it's no different than saying, I want to be an actor. You know, someone's like, how do I become an actor? I mean, you can get on Hollywood, or you can get on a bus and go out to Hollywood and try and find some auditions, or you can start working in smaller projects. You know, if there's a high school or college group that's looking for actors, then you can, you know, get yourself on film, as they say, and get some practice. Same thing with voice acting. You know, it's cool that you helped out your friend. I mean, if there's other projects that you can be a part of, it's called building a resume. I actually, at a certain point, very beginning of my career, I started calling all around the country. I used to listen to, this is a good tip actually. So I used to listen to radio stations throughout the country, and I would listen for local commercials that I thought were not good. I thought that they could be improved upon. And I would contact that business owner and tell them that I would do their commercial for them. And this is in the beginning. I was doing it for free. So I remember the very first one I got was a locksmith in Kansas. And I can't remember exactly where, but it was a locksmith. He was running it, and he's like, yeah, sure, make me a new ad. And I made the ad and I got it done. And, you know, he gave me some feedback. And so I got to perfect it a little bit, and then I put it on my demo reel, and there it was something that I did. I was showing that I was now a professional voice actor because it was being broadcast. So there's ways to get your voice out there. And that's the most important thing, is just get it out there. Do some practice.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, good luck.
Sure.
Thanks for the call, and you know, try and stay dry and tell the winds to stop blowing on Florida. Just get a break.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for answering.
All right. It is the late night show with me, Pete. It's funny. I'm usually the one doing the announcing. Can you announce your own show, or is that kind of weird? Hey, everybody, it's the late night show with Pete Gustin and his sleeping dog, Steve. I just put the other person on hold real quick just to let them know that they are coming up next, because I could hear myself in the background, and I do get kind of tired of hearing my own voice. Hopefully you guys don't. All right. Who is this?
Hi, yes, this is Robel.
Robel?
Yeah, Frovel, Frovel.
Oh, I've never heard that name before. What nationality is that? Is a cool name.
Well, it's weird. The name is German, but I'm Mexican.
Okay. That's an interesting choice then.
Yes.
Well, cool. Yeah. What's going on?
No, I just want to make sure. Not make sure. I just want, out of curiosity, you had a designer on your wetsuit, the cushion wetsuit. Do you have any updates on that?
Yeah, it's in. So I spent a bunch of time trying to. I mean, it was so much harder than I thought. Probably I was asking about the wetsuit. For people that don't know, I've been surfing with a black wetsuit that says blind surfer on it, and it just wasn't getting the job done. A lot of people were not noticing that I was blind. So I posted a short showing 3 different kinds of wetsuits that were caution tape themed, and I wanted people to see caution tape and then read blind surfer. And it seemed like a pretty good idea. So I took the idea after the video was posted, and I brought it to every major wetsuit manufacturer between here and Japan. And I'm telling you, all of them. And no one wanted to help, because they didn't want to do something that custom for a one-off. It's just there was no profit in it. And I told them I'd promote them, I'd talk them up, but no one wanted to help me out, which is kind of a bummer. But Nisha actually found a little company down in Texas that does custom wetsuits. And Nisha's been working with them very closely, designing the mostly black wetsuit that looks like it has caution tape wrapped around it, says caution, says blind surfer on the chest, and it's in production right now. I'm going to be giving all the details on the people that were able to put it together, and I think I should have it within a month. I mean, the thing's being put together panel by panel by these people in Texas, so it's a process, but I'm very excited for it.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I felt really bad because I put the thing out there and I had all these people vote on the designs. Now it's been like 3 months, and I figured everybody was like, "You stink. You're not actually going to follow through on it." Like I am. I'm trying to follow through, but it's really hard because wetsuits they come in a million different panels and they're all stitched together, and so you have to one panel has to have a part of the caution tape, and then it has to line up to another panel with the other part. It's pretty complicated. So I'm really thrilled that we found someone that is going to make it. And also I'm going to be really happy to get out in the water and have people understand at a glance, hopefully they'll look and see caution all over me and be like, why caution? And then they'll see the big writing that says blind surfer and they'll be like, oh, he doesn't see me. So I'm really hopeful to be able to avoid any other circumstances or crashes or collisions out in the water once I get that thing on.
Yeah, hopefully it works because some people are lazy sometimes. They don't even bother to read anything.
I know. I that always blows my mind. Like if I had working eyeballs, if I had some fancy working eyeballs of my own, I'd be looking at everything and reading everything I could. I'd be really excited to look at stuff. And all the time people tell me like, oh, I don't read anything. I didn't notice. I had no idea what it said. I'm like, oh my God, you're not even using your eyes. Can I have them? If you're not going to use them, can I have them?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the call, Probel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Can you do me a favor if you can?
I can try?
Yes. My friend is also listening because he knows. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, my friend knows that I was calling you.
Yep.
He sometimes watches you because I recommended to him.
Okay.
Can you say hi to my friend Pedro in your movie voice?
I wanted to say hi to Frovel's friend. Oh, start again. I wanted to say hello to Frovel's friend, Pedro.
Thank you, Pete.
All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate the call. Now you guys got me throwing out free voiceovers. That was kind of a crappy one. I feel bad about it, actually. My voice is a little fried at the end of the night. After you read like 3,000 things throughout the course of the day, it does get a little froggy. Pedro. There we go. That would have been better. I'm saying hi to Pedro. There we go. That sounds pretty good. Let's see what we got coming up on the phone lines next. 760-517-6844. Should say it right on your screen, but that's the number in case you can't read it like me. Who is this?
Hello.
Hello.
I wanted to ask you about any advice on making YouTube videos.
Okay. Someone wanted to ask advice about making YouTube videos, and they were really, really, really quiet. I will very quickly, this is kind of a boring topic for a lot of people. I've done a ton of videos and there's people that have like whole like video series about it. If you're going to make YouTube videos, this is the one advice I will give you. Do it about something you are passionate about. I get people all the time like, I want to do it as a job. I have no joke, no lie, no exaggeration, not looking for anything here. I've lost more money on YouTube than I have made. And I am just now starting to look for some sponsorship to help offset that a little bit. And I hope everybody understands that that's what happens eventually. But the only reason I keep making them is because I enjoy it. I enjoy sharing my story. I enjoy getting to be with my friends and my coaches and doing all the adventures. So if you're going to do YouTube, if you're going to start doing a channel, just do something that you enjoy and don't try and make it a business, because it's probably not going to be a business if you want it too bad. It has to be something that you enjoy and that people enjoy watching. Anyway, enough about making YouTube videos. Who is this? Hello, hello. I don't hear you. Hello? That person went away. All right. It is The Late Show with me. I am Pete. I think it says it in lights behind me. If all the lights are on, if I put them in the right area, it probably says P-E-T-E behind my head. Who is this? I hear me in the background, I think. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, that's very, very, very excellent. Very excellent.
It is.
I'm going outside because I have like a bunch of people in my house.
Okay. Annoying people just trying to hang out on a Friday night and doing it at your house. How dare they?
So my name is Frederick. I'm calling from California. I don't know if you're there too.
Yeah, I am down in the San Diego area.
Wow, that's pretty close to me too. I think so. So I just calling. I just left my pool area because I don't want you to hear the very loud filter because you're sensitive to hearing.
Yes, I know. I hear that sound all day, just outside my studio window. It just goes wah all day long. Love it.
That's Yeah, that's not good.
Nope.
So, yeah. So I've been watching you for like a couple of months, and like, like everyone says, you're an inspiration. It's like it's not every day that a blind person surfs, even though they're blind.
Yeah.
Like most people would just be like, "Oh, I'm blind. I'm gonna walk around and tell people that I'm blind because I'm blind."
That's one way to go.
Yeah. So it's like I've had my own disabilities. Like when I was like 9 years old, I had appendicitis.
Did it?
Not a good experience.
Did it burst?
Yes, it did. It burst.
I've heard that is exceptionally painful.
Oh, it is. Oh, the agony.
Yeah.
I had to go. I threw up thousands of times. I was at the hospital twice as long. I actually have a friend. His name's Daniel. He had appendicitis maybe like 2 months ago.
You can die from that. You can die from what is it, sepsis? Because it'll leak all that terrible stuff into your system. It can kill you if you don't get to the hospital in time, right?
Yeah. It's fatal. If it wasn't for my mom, who was very nice, shout out to her, she saved my life.
Wow! Shout out to Frederick's mom. Good job, Mom.
Thank you. Yeah. And then, like, I've also had, like, a bunch of other major incidents. I busted my chin open one time because my brother thought it'd be funny to strap me with my dad's work harnesses.
That's not a very funny joke.
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
But, yeah, like, have you ever had to go to the hospital because of your disability?
I wish there was some wood around because I had, not because of my disability, but I did, well, you could say, I got hit by a stingray really, really bad. I've been relatively fortunate with my injuries. The amount of stuff that I do, you'd think I'd be in the hospital every other day, but I do. I before you see me skateboarding down a drainage ditch at top speed on a wobbly surf skateboard, I've taken 50 steps of practice before I get there. So I don't usually just jump into something that could injure me, but I did. I jumped off my surfboard and landed right on a stingray, and it got me on the top of my foot. And it got me really good. It was a big stingray, put a big, huge hole in my foot. And I did have to go to the hospital because he'd left a bunch of the barb in my foot, and they had to make sure it was all out because it was going to get really grossly infected. But other than that, I have not taken a trip to the hospital for anything that I've done. But God, the waves are going to be big this weekend. And now, Frederick, I feel like you've jinxed me. So if you get some wood near you, or anybody out there watching, knock on wood for me because now I'm afraid.
Oh, actually, good thing I'm outside. I'll do it for you.
Good. Go find it. Hey, he did it. All right, good. Now I feel safe again.
Yay.
Thank you.
Anyways, talk about a dangerous encounter with that stingray. I encountered a rattlesnake not too long ago.
I am afraid of that because Banana likes to go hiking, and sometimes we go to spots that have rattlesnakes, and I'm like, what if I don't see it and I step on one? What happened when did you actually step on it?
No, thank goodness I did not. I was with like three of my friends, and I jump off of like a levitating rock. It was like a rock leaning on a couple of other rocks.
Yeah.
And I jump off of it, and just out of nowhere behind me, I hear very intense rattling. I turn around, and there it is, rattlesnake going under the rock and hiding from me.
Oh my God.
And my stupid friends decide to throw rocks at it because they want to. I don't know why they did that, because the rattlesnake got even more angry.
Oh, Jesus. If he's trying to get away, just let him get away. Let him go.
Yeah, it kind of like barricaded the snake inside of the rock now because they threw so many rocks at it.
Oh my God. Well, I'm glad he didn't come back out and get you. Sounds like you got away with one there.
Yep.
All right. Well, you try and stay safe out there.
What were you gonna say?
I was just telling you to stay safe.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like
you too. I don't want any more stingrays getting you.
No, I had to. That was enough. I definitely don't need any more stingray encounters. The first one, he laid me up. It was 18 days I was, because it did get infected. It actually got infected, even though we tried to have it not get infected. But 18 days of laying around with my foot up in the air, 18 days out of the water. It was a long time, but obviously one of those things killed Steve Irwin, so it could have been a lot worse. Hey, who's this? You're on with Pete, Late Night Show.
Hey, Pete, this is Cody.
Cody, what's going on? I'm surprised how many people are calling. I kind of thought, I was kind of just testing this out tonight. I thought testing late at night all alone with all this equipment, I figured no one would be watching. I thought it'd be a safe time to do it, but getting a lot of calls. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Michigan, actually.
Hey, another Michigan one. What part are you, what are you near?
I'm north of Lansing. I'm in a little tiny town that no one has ever heard of
Okay.
called Ovid.
Okay.
Yeah. So can I just ask anything on here, like advice? I've never done this before. Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
No, that's fine. It's anything you want within, if I haven't answered it a million times before, I will do my best to give you whatever wisdom falls out of my mouth.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. Well, I'd like to start off by saying you've been a really big inspiration for me. I've been legally blind since birth, but I recently lost all of my vision. And I've been trying to, I don't know if you had this issue when you lost, your eyesight, but finding a job is just extremely difficult because I know I'm capable, but every time I apply, I never get anything back. So I've been trying to make something out of YouTube. I've been trying to make music content, and I was just wondering if maybe you had any advice for trying to grow a YouTube channel or anything like that.
I do. I feel like, I did YouTube for about 2 years and didn't really get a lot of traction at all. I think I had maybe 10 or 11,000 subscribers, which was pretty good. But the algorithm didn't really dig what I was doing, or they didn't understand. And then it all kind of blew up when I did the gym story where the girl saw that, thought I was staring at her. But it wasn't just that I had the one that hit, because then people were like, who is this guy? What's going on? So I had this big back catalog of other videos, and you could see in the statistics and analytics that people would watch that video, then they'd watch another one and another one. And so I had a bunch of other videos that people were interested in, but it just kind of, honestly, it's just kind of a, it's just kind of like a roll of the dice or spin of the wheel. Like to how do you get people interested in the first place? How do you get the algorithm to pick you up in the first place? I mean, you can have they say great content will get to the top. I don't know, man. I think the algorithm can be pretty fickle. If you're into music, I'll tell you, being an original musician is pretty difficult. But if you're really good and you got some skills, you can look at being a studio musician where you work for the studio, you get paid either by the artist or by the studio, or you can work at a music production house that writes music for movies or commercials or radio jingles or stuff like that. Talented musicians can make money that way. And I hear what you're saying. Fortunately, I knew I was going to lose my eyesight when I was really young, and I knew I had my whole life to prepare. Like I was always kind of like, what am I going to be able to do with low or no vision?
Right.
And, I did teach myself, and I still do a lot of my own audio production. It's just because I learned how to use the computers when I could still see them. And I combine, all that information I had with a little text-to-speech software, and I can still do audio editing. But yeah, it was really hard for me, right? When I got out of college and I started applying for jobs, and I had to explain to people that, at the time I was legally blind and couldn't see as much as them. It's a big, huge X. When they're interviewing 20 people and one of them is blind or legally blind, they're not going to, you're not going to get the straight story from, oh no, they're going to look at your, no. They're going to see that.
They look right past you.
Yeah, totally.
Is what it feels like.
Yeah. I like being a little more realistic than what you're going to get from other people. They will look past you.
Oh yeah.
Unless you give them a major, I just got so good at production and then was also becoming a major market voiceover talent. And I was writing it. So I was writing, I was voicing, I was producing. And so I was just bringing this big skill set that was maybe more than other people at that level had. So I was overqualified for the job, but I was legally blind. So it kind of evened out. You got to show them. You got to show them that you can do it. You got to build maybe that's a good use of YouTube, just to put a bunch of stuff out there, just to use it as a resume, whether or not you have 1 million followers. If you've got some good quality stuff out there, and you start talking to music production houses or whatever, you can say, hey, check out my YouTube. Look at all this amazing stuff I put together.
Right. Well, thank you very much for that. That was pretty helpful.
Yeah, and I'm also a big fan of taking a skill set that you have and turning it into a job. People be like, well, I can't drive Uber if I'm blind, or I can't be a spreadsheet. I mean, I guess you could do spreadsheets with text to speech, but if you've got a skill, I feel like I'm a good performer. I'm a good voice actor, and I turn that into a living. If you're a talented musician, yeah, I think you're barking up the right tree. I think you're doing the right thing. You just got to find how to make money at it. So turning your skill into something that's going to pay your bills is I think a great way to go.
Yeah, music is definitely my passion, and I mean I'm kind of like intermediate at the moment, but it's really, like I said, it's my passion, and I would love to turn it into a career. It's just so hard to do it, and I just it's just a hard thing. It's hard to stick with because it gets to a point where you get kind of discouraged. You know what I mean?
It is, but you got to focus on small goals. Like I was actually a terrible voice actor. Terrible, bad, horrible. I had people like, oh, with that voice, of course you got voice work. Like, well, yeah, this is what my voice sounds like now. When I very first started voice acting, I was Peter from Winchester. I lived with my mother and father. I had the bad Boston accent, and I was also very nasal. And when I talked, I'm not joking. Like, this is when I sounded like when I very first started doing voice acting. I didn't know how to speak from my stomach. I was up in the chest, and I had the bad accent. Like, I had everything, and I spoke really too fast. I spoke like this all the time, talked really fast, and it was kind of slurry, and I had the accent, and I was stuck on the right notes. It was a mess. It was a total mess. I had to go to voice and articulation classes, elocution class. I had to learn how to speak all over again, and it was a half decade of practice before I even sounded halfway normal, and it was another half decade before I actually started billing and making any money. So yeah, it's gonna be you're intermediate now. Doesn't mean you're not going to be excellent in 5 or 10 years, but you just got to keep that long-term goal in mind. If it's something you really want to do, and it's something that you can do, which is how I felt about voice acting, something I really wanted to do, something I felt like I could do. Mm-hmm. So I just kept that in mind and just kept trudging, taking those classes, learning how to speak properly, learning how to not sound like a Bostonian. And it took years, but I got there.
Just keep on pushing.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I guess that's what I'll do then.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
Thanks for the call. I really appreciate it.
You.
All right. Yeah. Have a good night. Well, this is fun. I feel like I'm giving some useful advice. It is 10:28 p.m. Does anybody know when I started this? I don't know when I started it. I guess I could sit here all night and do this if people. That's the thing. I don't know anything at the moment. I don't know how many people are watching. I don't know if it's like me and one person at a time, or if there's like 500 people on there. I wonder if I touch. No, I'll probably just knock myself off the internet. We'll do, what did I just say? It was 10:29. So we'll do a couple more calls, and maybe we'll do this again in the future. So far, I feel like it's gone pretty good. Who is this? Hello?
Hello.
Hey, who's this?
This is Dylan from Joshua Tree. I'm here with my girlfriend, Felicia.
Hey, Dylan and Felicia. What are you two doing tonight, if you're allowed to say on the public airwaves what you're doing?
We were calling to wonder. We were kind of wondering why you have a 760 number. Like, that's the area code for out here in the high desert.
Oh, I don't know. I signed up for it's not a local number. I just signed up for a Zoom account, and that was the number they gave me.
Oh, that's understandable.
And I was gonna try and get something a little more local, but we got this one set up with that phone tree that you just went through, and it worked and it functioned, and I was like, cool, let's not mess with it. If it works, leave it alone.
Definitely. So do you plan on surfing with your dog anytime soon?
Steve is afraid of water. This goofball behind me is supposed to be they're supposed to have an affinity for the water, but we've got a pool in the backyard and he is petrified of it. And when we take him and his sister down to the beach, when the water comes up towards him, he scampers and trollops away from it and gets away from the water as fast as he can. The little 9.5 pound one, Skylar, she actually likes the water, but I would feel really irresponsible taking her out into the waves. So I don't think I'm going to be taking either of them out, unfortunately. It would be fun, but I can't get him anywhere near the water. He hates it.
Oh man. And another question we were going to ask was there any other word on the Superdog cartoon?
Yeah, I just had a meeting yesterday. I think I didn't understand what a massive undertaking getting a cartoon made is. Every time that there's another step in the process, I'm like, oh my God, there's so many steps. Right now, I put out a video a couple months ago, got 500,000 views, and I had one of my editors use some AI art just to show, like, we don't have a budget on this channel. I'm paying out of pocket when things like that happen. And he's like, I can do AI and to be cheap. I was like, okay, we're just trying to show that it was a cartoon, and people were pissed there was AI art in there. So we actually moved very quickly into the next stage of trying to get animators. And the funny thing is, there's character animators, there's scenery animators, there's like background, there's different animators for every different thing that you could think of in a cartoon. And we've got a list of 50 of them now. We're trying to narrow down the style that we want. And so they ask me all the questions like, what do you want? What do you like? What style are you interested in? And it's really hard because I can't look at the style that they're presenting to me. But I did tell them this. When I used to be able to see, there was a cartoon that I used to watch called Venture Brothers. And I really liked the style of animation of Venture Brothers. And so they've actually kind of gone with that. They're like, well, if that's something you think you liked, we'll look at animators that do that style. Did you ever see that cartoon?
We watched that.
Really?
We love it.
Yeah. I thought that was so cool. I remember the villains. There was one guy that was like in a bee costume, and the two brothers.
Mighty Monarch.
What was his name?
The Mighty Monarch.
Yes. Yeah. I thought that was a cool. So, at first they were trying to tell me about Bob's Burgers because I did the movie trailer for Bob's Burgers, and I just I didn't have enough vision to really know what that looked like. But from what I understand, Venture Brothers has a little more edge, maybe a little more reality to it. And I think that's cool. So we're going to start in December. We're going to work with a whole group of artists and have them all submit the two main characters, going to be me and Superdog. And then I'm just going to have to listen to Banana, whatever she likes, or maybe she can describe it to me. And I'll have to, eventually I'm going to have to decide. I'll be the one deciding, but I actually won't see it. So it's going to be weird, but that's, it's part of the process. And then once we've got our animation style down, then we put the whole pitch deck together and we start taking it out to the networks in spring of next year. So it's a long process, and there's already 17, 18 people that are contractually working with us, and that's not even like a quarter of it. There's so many people involved. I didn't understand how big it was, but it's still moving forward slowly but surely.
Sounds fun.
I think it'd be great to have some adventures of me and Superdog again. He was such a. I actually have a short I'm going to be dropping in the next 10 days or so. Another story of me and him that I think people will really enjoy. There were just so many moments that he was only around for a couple years of YouTube, and then we lost him. There were so many things that happened before that I wanted to share more of those stories with people.
That's awesome.
Well,
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, thank you for the call. Thank you for the support. Thank you for letting me ramble about the cartoon.
Yeah, last question. What's your favorite music, or if you could go to a concert, what would be your favorite one to go to?
Concerts are a little, I did a story about it. They're a little disorienting to me. There's just a lot of noise, and I mean, obviously noise, but I get.
So what would be your favorite music?
So what I'm listening to right now, I know people are gonna be like, "What? That's what he listens to?" So when I put on Pandora and I do my workout, I listen to a lot of, and I'm just talking about the music because I think a lot of the artists that I listen to have political leanings one way or another, or there's backstory to them, or they're good people or bad people. I don't really know.
Agree.
Okay, so I'm just talking about the music. I actually listen to a lot of Run the Jewels. I like E40, Snoop Dogg, Too Short. I like it's all hip hop stuff. I mean, I like Lil Dicky. I like
classic rap.
Yeah. Well, the new, I guess. I mean, Riff Raff is. I don't know if he's new or old.
He's part of Three Loco.
Yes.
With Andy Milonakis.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting that you know that. Yeah, a lot of that stuff. I just started listening to some Yellow Wolf. I listen to Eminem, of course, but I also, if you hit the Pandora, like every channel that you listen to, I also listen to Stone Temple Pilots, Metallica, Slipknot's in there, Megadeth. I actually like a lot of Megadeth stuff. I got to do an interview with Dave Mustaine a long time ago in the year 2000 when I was working at Sirius Satellite Radio, and yeah, I mean, I've gone through. In the 90s, I used to listen to a lot of Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden, Audioslave. But right now, I'm definitely in like a hip hop phase. I love the anything Run the Jewels and Killer Mike. I listen to a lot of that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, man. We love talking to you. You just made us like you more. We can't wait for the cartoon.
Thank you so much. Well, you guys have a good night. I'm going to do one more call. I don't know what time I started this thing. Thanks to the both of you for the call. It is 10:36 p.m. And I got to be up and I got to surf some big waves tomorrow and Sunday with a cut open foot. And it's been a slow summer of waves, so I don't know how in shape I am for the big waves this weekend. So hopefully I'll survive them. But we'll do one more call. Who is this? Last call of the night.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. My name's Joseph.
Joseph, what's going on?
I'm good. My question is, what's your favorite Disney movie?
Oh, favorite Disney movie? I don't know. You know what? I did the movie trailer for one that came out about 2.5 years ago called Onward, but I never saw it.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I haven't been able to watch any of the Disney movies. I mean, I know I saw Bambi in the 80s when it came out. It's been a long time since I was able to go to the movies and watch anything, though. We're gonna do one more call. I don't know if what's your favorite movie is the way I want to end the whole night. It's been a lot of fun talking to everybody. Steve is just, I'm gonna be all bruised up in the back. He is just, he moves around in his sleep a lot. All right, who is this?
Hey Pete, this is Logan from California.
Logan, what's going on tonight?
Oh, nothing much. Just dealing with this beautiful California weather. It's cooling down now, but the heat has been something else.
So you got to be a little more east of me because we haven't gotten over like 74 in about a month around here down in San Diego.
Oh, I'm up in Northern California in Lake County. I think our high was 92 a few days ago.
That's a little rough. That's a little toasty.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
So I was calling tonight because I had about 2 years ago, I had 4 scoliosis surgeries. You know what scoliosis is?
Yeah, my fiance and me to a lesser degree, but she has a pretty good case that is very difficult for her to deal with.
Yeah, I had 4 surgeries to correct my spine. My spine was at a 75-degree curve.
Whoa, that's a big curve. Did they put a rod in?
Yeah. They put 2 rods and 48 screws.
Whoa.
The first time they brought me out of surgery, my back broke, and then they had to go in through my stomach and put cages roughly around the middle of my spine to hold it in place. And yeah, those screws have been in there ever since, and they're mounted into my spine, and then I got 2 in my pelvis.
Holy crap. I had a girlfriend, when I was in high school, she'd had the surgery. She had 2 rods in her back, and she was basically forced to have a perfectly straight torso all the time. She could not like curve her back because the rods kept her perfectly straight. Is that what's going on with you?
Yeah, like I can't bend at like below my pecs. I can't bend any there. I can only bend at my hips.
And does it, so she was a girl, obviously, so I never thought to ask this kind of a question, but like, does that, like, can you play physical contact sports, or do you have to be more careful?
I've been told to stay away from physical contact sports, like anything that has to do with like motocross or anything that has a lot of shaking or a real jerking motion. I've been told to stay away from it.
Do you feel like that is a big lie? Is that something you lament, or is it just, it is what it is and you move on?
It is what it is, and I moved on. But when I was in the hospital for about a month, and I discovered you maybe a week before I went in, and seeing that you were blind and how you were surfing, and I was like, man, if someone with, in my opinion, someone who has something worse than I have can do something like that, I can do something that it helped me reassure myself that my condition wasn't going to hinder my life, and it really hasn't.
Oh, that's great to hear. And I'm glad you found the videos at the right time. I thought just the name of the channel, I thought I kind of wanted it to be a message, but people didn't really get it. Like blind surfer, like I have this, but I do this. I wanted that to be a message that people could kind of like grab onto and hopefully take that and run with it themselves. And it sounds like you're on that track. You're not going to get slowed down by this really difficult situation that you got going on.
Yeah, I'm not. The only thing it really hindered me to do was I was gonna join the Army once I got into high school, and that's really the only thing it stopped me from doing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I actually, when I was really young, I thought I was going to do military service myself. They weren't really taking a lot of blind and legally blind people at the time, so I had to pass up on that. But definitely found different ways to serve and to live my life. And I think you're going to find your own path. How old are you now?
I turned 18 2 weeks ago.
Oh man, so you were going through all this in your teenage years, huh?
Yeah, it's something else.
And did you end up missing a lot of school?
Oh yeah, I was in 8th grade when COVID hit, so I missed a lot of school anyway. Everyone did, but yeah, I was in the hospital for about a month then, and actually I won something called the Every Student Succeeding Award through this association called AXA, because I got straight A's all through middle school.
Oh wow.
And that was a big confidence booster too.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you can't do motocross, and like me, I had to just X some things off. Like I wasn't going to be playing tennis anymore, and there's just a handful of things I wasn't going to do. But it doesn't mean I couldn't do anything. I just had to find different things to do. And I think as your life goes on, and I mean, you're really just at the beginning here. You'll be able to find all sorts of things that you can still do. And honestly, I mean, it's a blessing that in a certain way, I understand that you'd prefer not to have rods and screws in your body, but at least that was an option. If they didn't have that kind of surgery, where would you be? So sometimes you have to, be appreciative even for the things that you don't think that you might want to be at first.
Right. And I found a career I'm going to try and go into. I really wanted to do voice acting like you and a few other people have been big inspirations to me. And I wanted to go into voice acting, but I'm actually really starting to get into writing, like writing screenplays, writing books, movies, TV shows. Me and my friend are actually working on a movie, and I'm working on a show myself. So.
Nice. That's great. I love writing. I love the 3 novels that I've written. Some of the most just fun times I've spent building a world and building characters and helping them live their lives. I've always enjoyed writing. So I think that's an amazing profession to go into.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, thanks for the call. I think we're going to, it's getting a little late. I want to get to bed. I'm going to take the dogs out one more time. Thanks to everybody that called tonight. This was like kind of a test run for me. Just me and Steve sitting back here. All this crazy equipment. I think it went okay. I guess I'll find out later, but no one said anything. So it's The Late Show with Pete. And I can't end it from where I am. So you're going to have to watch me get up and fumble. I'll send you out with some music. And if I have some music, how about I got the song, I got the beat from the last hip hop song that I did. Well, it was the first hip hop song I ever did. It's called Underestimate Me. And it is on YouTube right now. If you guys are really sad that I'm going to end this thing and you want 3.5 more minutes of me, you can go, you can search Blind Surfer Underestimate Me or Pete Gustin Underestimate Me, and you'll hear this song with all the words in it. Right now, you're just going to listen to the music as I find my way over to the computer and try and use my text-to-speech to find the button that says End Stream. So you might actually hear my mouse going all over the computer as well. You'll hear it read out like all the different things on the screen that don't say End Stream. It'll be fun. There's so much stuff between me and the computer. So you might actually see me knock over the camera, trip over some microphones. You might want to end it before anything bad happens. You don't want to see it. Thanks to everybody. It's been a lot of fun.